What's doing, my killer? It's Beast, and today I'm doing another review of the 1Hund Aerolux Barefoot in the Curse colorway. So recently, a lot of brands within the powerlifting space have been releasing and dropping their own version of a barefoot trainer. I can't help my morbid curiosity. I wanted to know what these trainers were like and if they were any good. These shoes are meant to have a wide toe box, but also encourage natural movement. I have been super skeptical of these kinds of shoes, and so, we had to buy one and see if it was really worth the hype. As for me, I usually have stuck to training in my notorious lifts for powerlifting for the most part. I do my general training in my pair of Nobles I previously reviewed. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested in that. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, they honestly surprised me by how much they impressed me. Let me tell you why. So originally my reason for getting these shoes were because of the Curse Mark reference from Naruto. I really thought that was sick. I think it's a really cool reference and a really cool colorway. So I went on to the 1Hund website, pre-ordered these back in the end of June, beginning of July time, and the pre-order was supposed to be for August. I didn't get them until September. So right off the bat, we're off to a rough start. What I will say is that once I got the shoes, they have been amazing. I have done the rower in these shoes. I have done short jogs in these shoes. I've used the assault bike in these shoes. I've squatted in these shoes. I've done some RDLs in these shoes. I've done it all with these shoes, and I have been generally impressed by how much I can not only feel the ground, but how they have just enough cushion so they're not uncomfortable of being in and for long periods of time, but also not too much that you can't feel the ground, which is really critical when you're doing stuff like deadlifts and squats. You want to be able to have a good ground feel. I was also impressed by the quality of these shoes. I've had these shoes for a month and they have held up very well. I have been using them daily for my training and they have been very loyal to me. They haven't broke down pretty much at all, which compared to the Nobles, I was super impressed with and super happy with. Now let me set your expectations, right? These are great training shoes. However, would I recommend that you go run a mile in these shoes? No. Would I recommend you do intense box jumps with these shoes? No. However, if you're doing a circuit training, maybe you're doing some squats, you have some box jumps sprinkled in there and maybe a quarter-mile jog in there too, nothing crazy, these are good shoes for that. You can use this for that as well as just general powerlifting, SPD. I found them to be very helpful for that, right? So these are good all-around trainers, especially for people who are interested in that wider toe box and looking for a shoe, and also looking for a shoe that has just enough cushion but not too much that it becomes uncomfortable and you can't actually feel the ground underneath you. One thing I wanted to talk about is initially when I put this shoe on, I noticed a bit of the gap between my heel and the back of the shoe, which I thought might become a problem and have some heel slippage as I was walking around. It actually didn't have any heel slippage for myself. I think it's just because it's a looser fit. So that's something I think everyone should be aware of in case you get the shoes and you're like, because of there's a little gap in the back of your shoe, walk around in them first before you go ahead and return them because they might just be fine. They might fit you well. So I would just keep that in mind. For me, I think that if I went a size down, it would have been too tight. So I would not recommend that unless you're in between sizes and maybe you can manage that. I personally really love these shoes to the point where I actually have been considering getting myself a second pair just to have them around in case I ever need them. So if you're in the market for a barefoot trainer type of shoe, I would highly recommend the 1Hund Aerolux Barefoot shoe. One final thing I wanted to note is that the laces on my shoe are custom laces. I like to put a little bit of pop, a little bit of personality in my shoes, so those purple elastic laces you see are not factory laces. I believe the factory laces are black. I just swapped them out when I had first gotten them, so I just wanted to let you guys know that as well. Also, I believe these shoes retail for $70. I will put the price next to me because I think that might be off by a little bit. Also, if you're interested in these shoes, I will put the link down in the comments below, well, in the description actually. But what do you guys think of this shoe? Is there anything else you would like to see me review? Let me know in the comments down below. I know that Notorious Lifts has their own barefoot shoe, and if this video somehow gets 100 likes, I will buy those shoes and review them for you guys. So let me know in the comments down below and make sure to like and subscribe. This has been The Beast, and we are so back!